There we go.
I'm Akash Howlader. I'm a 17-year-old senior that goes to Woodstock High School, and I was born on April 16th, 1998. I was born at Kennesaw Hospital, and I grew up mostly in Marietta, Georgia, until about 5 years ago I moved here to Woodstock, Georgia. And that's how the reason I got here is where I'm at today. If I didn't move from Marietta 5 years ago, I wouldn't be the same person I am today. I wouldn't be me. I don't know what I would have been. But what I want to do in the future is basically I want to go to college, graduate, get a 4 years bachelor's degree in majoring in computer engineering. Hopefully get a good job from there. I want to support my parents after what they did for me throughout this journey. And the career that I want to do is computer engineering. And the reason I was interested in that was because since I moved here, I don't know why, I had a really, really big interest in computers, software, technology, anything technology-wise, but mainly there were computers. Since I got my laptop and I started fixing it. It was old, so it broke down, so I started fixing it. I didn't realize I had that kind of thing in me, so I ended up getting more into it, and that's why I chose computer engineering as my major. And the way this relates to my research topic is how cyberbullying, so cyberbullying is from the computer, or basically social media, and computers and technologies is a big part of that, and that's how it relates to my topic. Alright, so on my work blog, what we did for my product was we made a computer, not just any regular type of computer, just like a nice gaming computer, just to use for gaming, also for any schoolwork or anything like that. So here we have me and my project facilitator, and that's the final piece, basically how it was all created into one. And then as we go down here, this is me putting in the water pump, as you can see right here in this area. This is also one thing about my computer. It's water cooled, so it's not just your basic any computer with the regular cooling. So it's cooled by water, and I know that sounds weird, but apparently that's things we have in this world. So here, this is me learning from my facilitator and seeing what things are put into the computer. He told me bunch of stuff, and here you have me testing the water. This is me putting in the water into the pump, and water is basically, it's like a little water cycle in the computer. And then down here, this is where we got all our parts in, and we didn't go to any store to get all the parts. Basically just the case, maybe the DVD drive, and the hard drives. That's all we went to the store for. But everything else was ordered from online. And we had a budget starting, before we even started our computer, our budget was around, let's say, $1,500, and then because of some of the parts that were priced different, we have to end up bringing it up to $2,000. And then later on at the end, we found out that $2,000 would have to go up to $2,500. So roughly around, finally, I spent around maybe $2,500 to $3,000 on the computer. Okay, that's the work log. I'm going to show you my product. Basically, this is my product, just showing all the sequences and how everything was together. This is all my parts and stuff. This is the case, and basically from the case, the way it looks in real life, it's coming up from basically my feet all the way up to my knee, and then the lengthwise is from my arm to my shoulder. So it's pretty big, and when I brought it home, it took a while to adjust and to put it where we want it to be. Because there's certain areas where you have to let air flow through the area. You can't have it covered, else just air wouldn't circulate through the computer. And here, this is not what originally it looked like. Before, it had parts on top of it and around it. But for us to get the maximum fan space, or the air circulation, you'd have to have good enough space to have that air flowing in from the back and into the front. And then here, this is the motherboard. This is a gaming motherboard. This is not your ordinary. Here you have me installing the motherboard right here onto the little part that came in the computer case. At one point, if whenever touching computers or anything like that, you always gotta rub your hands on the metal just to get that static electricity off your hands. And then before you start touching any computers or any computer part, that's the motherboard installed onto the computer. These are your RAM cards. Basically, it's what helps it run. And we had two 8 gigabytes, making it 16 gigabyte in total. This is our motherboard, or not motherboard, processor, which is the Intel Core i7 580 or 5820K. And this one was, we bought this one is because just recently this Intel Core Skyline came out, and we found out that this processor that came out last year basically does the same thing, but just the Skyline is a little bit more expensive. So due to our budgets, we ended up using this one. That's me opening up the cooler. Basically, this was a a replacement just in case my water system would fail, and we just needed to test the parts real quick just to make sure everything was running. Here, as you can see, we installed the cooler and onto the motherboard, and that's on top of the processor. So, and here's just me just sitting there looking proud about what we're doing right now. This is where we basically took off the cooler, and we starting our water pump, and this is like the first process of putting it in. And each part had its own water pump kind of case to it. And here, this is the video card. We took it off and replaced it with this, and that's basically like a water for just on water cooling. And here, this is basically without the water cooling. First, we had the cooler in, and we plugged in all the cables just to make sure all the parts were running around and everything was good. And this is the water pump, as I told you already. And here are the two inlets basically. So this is where the water, you connect the pipe to get the water running. And here, as you can see from before, the pump isn't where it was before. As you can check on this image right here. Yeah, that's basically us testing the water. And this blue paper is like a waterproof kind of thing. So if in case of any of the water would spill, it'd be alright. Here you can see the pump, and the pump was there before, so we ended up putting here because if this computer was on the side, so if we lift it up, the water would fall out. And that's the tubes. And this is basically the final product, basically what we finished up. That's the front side, and then you have the back right there. And that's the computer. And the way this connected to my NGRP was I did cyberbullying. So basically, computers have Facebook, Twitter, so like any social media like that. So it causes cyberbullying, and mostly it came from the computer, and that's how it relates to my NGRP. Any questions? All right, thank you for joining me.